excellent peers and Be Ready were 2 winners for you on Wednesday night. That was obviously very pleasing. Do you feel you still got more bullets to fire before the end of the season, Frankie?
I think boss and me, so both will fight until the last day. And he always said I will try, but I think everyone knows my boss really strong, really top trainers. So I need to be careful.
Joe, bundle of charm, showed a bundle of ability on debut and managed to get the win. I bet that was pleasing.
Yeah, it actually was a good surprise to me. Watching his trials over there, and I wasn't too impressed. But when it comes to the races, looks like he switched on his engine and he showed what he's got as much as of ability. So I honestly not expect him to do anything different this time.
Yeah, and obviously talking of switching on the engine, I mean, it was evident from the start. He showed some very good gate speed from out wide.
You mentioned about the start. That was the biggest query I had about him, because he didn't really show much of his speed at his barrier trials. But when it comes to the race, he knew what he was there for. Gates open, he was one of the first to get out and place himself in a striking position. So apparently he understands that when race is on, he got to just be a bit more sharp, and that's how he behaved and done at the races at his last start and first run. So he seems a very nice horse.
And just on the back of this one, obviously going forward, obviously natural improvement, I guess, is fully expected. Was he just lacking a mate in the home straight? He just looked to sort of wander around a little bit. You had to sort of keep him straight.
Yeah, he was, but just don't forget he was at his first start, so he deserves to be forgiven for that.
Yeah.
After having a run on his belt, I presume he's gonna do things better. I know the handicapper put some weight on his back, which I still believe he's gonna be able to deal with it. So just because he's a kind of a horse that show us he's got ability right away. The handicapper haven't got him quite yet, but it is a horse to everyone else keep on watching, because apparently he's got a bright future here.
Absolutely. I guess to counteract that, obviously rising the weights. I mean, he started racing at a time of the season when one or two others have probably had a long season. Just looking at the race itself, I mean, he does stand out, given he's just had that one run. So I guess a nice fresh horse this time of year is a big positive.
Oh, it's a bonus for John Size's stable, who is running for the championship, isn't it? Like, hopefully we are not wrong about him. I think there is more wins to come out of this guy, and I really hope this is the time of the next one.
I guess nice to pull those colours on as well. So I went back through the records. Bundle of Joy, fond memories of him. I think 1-3 on him.
Yeah, the colour, as you said, I had good memories with, and very nice to get back into it and then get a winner out of it right away. So Colin and his friends, and hopefully they have a good horse to play with.
Joe, Galaxy Witness has certainly been making headlines. He lines up for his 5th run this weekend. He's unbeaten in 4. How's the excitement levels?
It's always high, isn't it? When you have a horse that goes out there and win all the time that you ask him to go to, you couldn't be more excited than what you should be.
And what he's done so far, Joe, obviously he's done little wrong. Last time out on the ground, was he totally in love with it, do you think, from a rider's perspective?
I just think he didn't mind about the wet track. I mean, he just floated on top of it. He covered ground a little bit. I pointed him out, and he coped covering ground and hit the line very strongly. So we're coming up in class, but don't forget we also dropping the weight off his back, which is going to help him. From the day one I got on this horse, I told Casper that I thought this horse was going to be a mile or even longer kind of a horse, you know, a longer kind of a distance horse. Apparently Casper believes we step him up in distance, and I'm looking forward to sit on him on the weekend. He's definitely a promising horse as well.
He certainly is. He had a Abbey Valley for a recent trial. He looked to come through that very nicely as well. Was that just a case of going
his
through the
trials over there was outstanding. Yeah. I mean, he's done very well as we expected. He seems very much the same horse that we had in the past, with a little bit of more experience after having 4 starts. So he's a horse that I'm looking forward to ride on the weekend.
If he was to win his 5th and on the bounce, it'd be a great way to finish the season. I think Casper's gone on record as saying this will be his last run of the season, and then on to the 4-year-old series next year. So quite a bit to look forward to.
What he's done so far, it's quite impressive. He would be one of the horses that we all should have in mind for the Classics next season. and he deserves the credit.
Frankie, Kefi is a horse that's improving nicely for your stable, makes his third run here in Hong Kong on the weekend.
Yes, he's every time he's improved. So and I hope this time he keep improve. Only the draw a little bit tricky, draw 14.
Yeah, he's obviously out wide. Is he the type of horse that's just taken a run or two? I mean, his debut, he ran very well, but just looked to perhaps knock up late. Do you feel he's getting to his peak now, this horse?
Yeah. But I think later on he can go up to 1600. But this time Joe back on, I think he know how to ride the horse.
And just looking, I suppose, taking it from a handicapping point of view, he had to give £11 to Escape Route last time out, so certainly better off with that horse at the weights this time in.
Yes, I hope a little bit close should be better for us, and then the jockeys also.
What was Joe's report of his recent gallop, Frankie? Was he pleased with him? Obviously, he didn't ride him last time.
I put him on gallop on Monday. He said it's really good form, so I hope he can run a good race.
Zach, Global Harmony in the last race on Sunday, a newcomer whose trials have looked pretty respectable.
Yeah, he's a tricky one because he hasn't got the start right yet. He keeps missing the start, and you know, in Hong Kong, especially coming in on the rating he's coming in on, you can't really do much wrong. So if he gets a start wrong, it's going to be very hard for him. So we're just going to hope that he can get it right, and if he does, you know, some of his trials have been okay, so he should be able to run a decent race.
You mentioned obviously starting at the level he does. He's got a rating of 63. From your experience, which is vast, how good does a horse need to be to start at that level here in Hong Kong?
Well, it's only been recently that they've dropped the PP rating down to 63, 64, 62, whatever it is. They've been coming in, you know, five or plus pounds higher than that, and it's been too hard for them. But we've seen in recent times, since they've dropped that rating, it's given the horses a chance, and we've had a couple of horses come out and win off that rating first time out. So it'll give him his chance. He's just got to get everything right.
He was with the Hayes boys in Australia, obviously, one down there at Sandown. I imagine you've gone back and had a look at that. Has David been pleased with what this horse has done? Is he confident leading into the weekend?
Yeah, he's very complimentary of the horse. He thinks the horse is a nice horse, sourced well, and you know, he seems to have settled into the environment here well enough. So yeah, hopefully he can get the job done and start off on the right foot.